It's time.
We on, baby.
Baby. How are you getting on? Long time no see.
Mate, honestly, I haven't seen you since last year.
I know, crazy. Fucking crazy.
That's the best dad joke of 2022 getting around right now. Hey, cheers, man. I'm being good tonight. Non-alcoholic cider. What a pansy.
Yeah, well, I'm not impressed. That blue label
So
shit.
sweet. I'll probably fucking have a diabetic shock before I finish that bottle. It's so sweet. There's like 14 pounds of sugar in it. Now I'm trying to be good, you know, new year, new me. Not really, but I've just been so pissed up lately that I'm like, I'm trying to, and we were just talking off air about all the things we want to achieve and all our fucking wildest dreams and ambitions this year. And I'm like, I need to get up a bit more early in the morning to get a bit more out of my day, so I can't be pissed up all night. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a disgusting story just straight off the bat because why not? I had a few G&Ts last night, man. So I wasn't intending to have many at all, right? Because I was like, I got to get up this morning, going for a run. I will say I did that. I did go for a run, but I had 3 beers last night and 2 fairly hefty G&Ts with a bit of soda. And I was feeling good, man. I was watching this David Letterman show with Chappelle and then Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
My next guest, feeling real good. We can talk about that. Mate, got up, went for a run, and then subsequently I got the runs. I was on the toilet maybe 6 or 7 times this morning. It's no pun. It's a shitty way to start a Monday. So yeah, I'll just say public service announcement: probably don't drink gin and tonics. It's terrible for your health.
Well, last time you were drinking and today, it's 10:30 in the morning.
I feel terrible because I knew this was going to happen, but this is okay. For the third podcast, when we come together, we'll know.
That man,
We'll know.
fuck it, let's go.
So, get onto it, man. I can't believe you're doing it. The Parkinson's cocktail. Oh my god, he's wolfing buck fast like it's going out of fashion.
Win the morning, win the day, you know.
Yeah, dude, I like that. You win or you learn. I'm gonna have to get you to just fucking freight mail out some buck fast so we can see you like a bunch of monks, evidently.
Or you can just come over here and go nuts.
Man, I'm so keen, eh? I'm so keen. I'll tell you what. I know you're disappointed in me with not drinking, but I can't believe you said the other night you wouldn't come to Australia because you're scared of spiders.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. Fuck no, not a fucking chance. That thing you sent me on Instagram, nah, done, out.
Oh yeah, I will say my audio's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're clear.
Yeah, you can hear me. It's all recording and shit. All right,
Yeah.
good. I will say because you're. Oh, fuck, hang on a sec. I've lost my train of thought here. We're talking about spiders, sorry. The audio threw me off. It's technical difficulty, folks. 2022, we're just cutting our teeth for the first show of the year for me anyway. Yeah, that was so ironic, actually. The fact that you were like, I'm actually dead scared of spiders, and I'm thinking, what a pussy. I go over to my knife block in the kitchen, and there was a fairly hefty huntsman. I was like, wow, okay, yeah, he's not wrong.
Yeah, nah, fuck that. No, because I seen a video of a guy like in Australia, sucking up I was going to say sucking off huntsman, but that's a total different sort of porno.
Yeah. I'll Google that later.
Speaking of porn, this is a real tangent. I was watching some stuff last night because why the fuck not? And do you know the way, like when you go onto the first page of porn, you see all the good shit.
Yeah.
And then you go a few like pages deeper and you get all the pixelated shit. You know, the more pixels, the amateur stuff, that sort of shit.
Yeah.
And I seen this video, and this was the title: Twin Stepsisters Fuck Monster Cock. And I thought, fuck, that's great. But then I thought, twin stepsisters.
Twin stepsisters. Yeah, no, that's a typo there. That's got to be a typo. I'm already seeing plot holes in this, you know?
Like, how does that work? Like, twin stepsisters? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Call me old-fashioned, but I just can't get into the family thing, you know? Maybe I'm too family orientated. I don't know what it is, but there's something about it. Well, I need to meet the sick fucks that are. Maybe you're one of them. I like that you've stopped because you realised that there was a whole plot hole there. That wait, they can't be related to this. There's no sense. They're just 2 girls that look similar. They're actresses, and Yeah, but I just can't get my head around it. I've tried, believe you me, I've tried, and it just doesn't seem to take. It doesn't take. I like it when they're totally unrelated. That's my idea of a good time.
The video they just weren't like too related enough for me.
Yeah. I like birth certificates to actually confirm this. Yeah, wow. I've seen that. I've seen a whole mum and a daughter thing, and it just freaks me out because you know what it is, and this is I don't know about you, man, but like you just put yourself in that situation. You're like, wait, would I be dueling cocks with my dad or my brother here? I don't know if I could. I just don't know. It's hard enough watching a sex scene with like your mum on the couch, and you're like, oh god, like, can we fast forward through this? I want to watch it, but not with you here. This
Yeah.
is awkward for all of us.
The thing is, though, worse than that is being in a sex scene with your mum.
Yeah, yeah, dude. That's really gonna fucking spoil your dinner, hey? Oh man, wow.
Some sort of Game of Thrones sort of shit.
Yeah, I know. I feel like maybe it was a thing back in the day. All that incestual behavior. I don't know. It just I don't know. Call me. I don't know. Is it new school? I don't know. It's so hard to know in this day and age, isn't it? With the Jeffrey Epsteins of the world and the Ghislaine Maxwells of the world, and just
Oh, Fritzel.
grooming people. Fritzl, God, the one that got away. Am I right? Where is he? Ironically now he's in a dungeon, probably.
100%. Fucking one of the things that when I was drinking in the pubs over Christmas, I went hard, bro, for this. You even got some like real saucy messages at some stages.
There was some saucy messages.
Yeah, there was some love there, a lot of love. But there was a guy in the bar that he's a notorious top shagger. Like, see the amount of women that we've bucked between us. He's probably bucked them last week. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Wow.
And he was talking to this here young girl. She's 22 years old. He is 65. Lovely blonde girl.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he cracked on the whole spiel. Oh,
Yeah.
your eyes are like beautiful, glistening pools of pure crystal. Your body is just out of this world. Your smile would brighten up even the darkest of rooms. But I'll tell you one thing. If you were my daughter, I would still be bathing you. And I was like, what the fuck?
Whoa. Was that legit? You were just like, do I call someone like the police here? Like,
I was like, are you any relation to Joseph?
oh, dude.
I hope you're not a father because that's fucking disgusting. The whole bar
That
went
is
quiet.
disgusting. That is so disgusting. There's like things like that you're just like, oh my god, I don't know. It's just,
The
and
whole fucking bar went quiet, but then me with my like sort of weird sick sense of humor, I just bust out fucking laughing.
yeah,
It
it's
was
kind of like all you can do in that situation. You have to you go, oh, I'm going to be ultra defensive here, and do this, and then you're just like, okay, I'll just laugh. It's Christmas, and we'll just hope that it's not a legit thing.
fucking so creepy, like
Oh,
so
fuck.
creepy.
Hey, so I think my mic might have been on mute for like the first 10 minutes. Were you picking up levels? Like, can you hear me on the
Oh yeah,
roadcaster?
yeah,
Like,
you're loud and clear because the zoom goes through the roadcaster. So if
okay, sweet,
yeah,
all good, man, all good. There's this fucking button was flashing. I was just like, we had that situation the first time where I forgot to press any buttons, and now evidently, 2022, I'm setting the standard again by not pushing fucking buttons. So that's all good. I'd hate to just have an hour and a half of just you talking to yourself, but not answering yourself. That's the weirdest podcast ever. It's like you're ghosting yourself. But we're back. So how was your Christmas, man? Was it good?
it was good. It was my birthday as well. My birthday's the 19th of December,
Mm-hmm.
so like I was
Yeah,
lucky.
happy birthday.
It was great. I don't remember much of it, but it was great. But yeah, a lot of Guinness consumed. A lot. A
Is
lot.
that your is that your poison? Guinness is like your go-to, like your favorite drink?
As of recently, yes. Like I used to be a
Yeah.
big Carlsberg man,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I don't know what sort of drew me towards Guinness. I had a one pint of it one day. I was like, "Fuck, that's lovely," and then I can drink it all night now.
Yeah. It's a wicked drink. It took me years to actually get into, but being older now, I really like appreciate it. It's a rich taste, evidently, but fuck, it is good. I'm craving one. It's fucking about
Yeah,
30 degrees and I'm craving one.
it's a nice creamy taste, and it just it goes down so well,
Yeah.
incredibly well. But I can now topple at least 14 pints of Guinness.
fuck, that's a lot. That's a solid effort. That's like, correct me if I'm wrong, 7 liters of Guinness. How's
Yeah,
my math?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
so. It's
that's a
crazy.
lot. What is it about? I mean, I know drinking's funny like that. Like, Are you addicted to getting drunk, or you're addicted to the lifestyle, or like the headspace it brings you? Because no one's ever sitting around and going, "I'm drinking 7 liters of water." Like, no way. 7 liters of Coke, just Coke, no bourbon. Like, no one does that. But good night out, 14 pints, no worries. I was saying to someone the other week, we were drinking some beers, and we were talking about having a sesh, and I was like, man, the biggest one I ever had on the beers, I think I had 18 Coronas in one night. Like, just, it was me and my uncle. Like, it wasn't even a party. It was like just a good time. But
Yeah,
that's what happens when you get in a good conversation with someone that's on the exact same level, drinking at the exact same pace. You're like, we're going to just destroy shit here. And we don't care. This is like, fuck it, we don't care. I feel like we're in Motley Crue right now. Shout
fucking
out
love.
Motley
Oh,
Crue.
mate.
I had to wear
That
it.
was the thing. On the last podcast we recorded, you said to me like what band you always go back to, and I never once mentioned Motley Crue because I listen to them every day, and I'm
Yeah.
disgusted with myself.
Well, I'll tell you what, bro. That was so weird that you tagged me in that post yesterday and you put a Motley Crue song on because I shit you not. What day is it? Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wearing this since Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday, Sunday.
yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like the rock life, you know what I mean? It's like I'm on tour, dude. These jeans will stand themselves. And yeah, I literally was like, fuck, what are the odds? I didn't wear it at work today. I wore a white t-shirt at work, very professional. I was like, I'm putting it on just for you because you tagged me in it. So last night when I went to bed, I'm like, fuck, I'm listening to that Motley Crue album, the Hella High Heels one. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, what an album. All day, man, I've had just like Motley Crue just playlist going. And I've listened to Same Old Situation like 4 or 5 times a day. That's probably one of my favorite Crue songs, I reckon. What's your favorite Crue song?
I don't know because like the new Tattoo
Changes?
album that Hell and High Heels is on is one of the most underrated albums that they have, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
But for me personally, it has to be Livewire.
Live Wire. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a classic. It's a classic. I I will stand with you on that Hella High Heels, like the new tattoo. I've never really given it like that much attention. Like I haven't. I know that song.
yeah,
I listened to it last night and I listened to it again this morning. I was like, it's a pretty fucking good album. It's one of those albums that you like because they've got so many like classic albums
yeah.
that you're like you probably oversee it. I really got into shit. This must have been around like just after the Carnival of Sins DVD, which I fucking love, right? And then they did Saints of Los Angeles, that album,
Yep.
and I thought that was a pretty wicked album too. I was like, and I fucking used to pump that, man. But yeah, the Doctor Feelgood album for me is just like it's I feel good, no pun.
I think it's peak Motley Crue.
Yeah, it is, man. They must have. Oh god, yeah, wow. And then that song, "The Dirt," from The Dirt, with like it's the only time I've really enjoyed Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah,
And now that rap he does, oh god, I was pumping it coming over from the beach there. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking more
fucking
segment.
awesome.
Oh my
Now,
god.
the thing is with that new Tattoo album, that was the one album they recorded that didn't have Tommy Lee in it.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was that was the chick drummer from Hole.
Yeah.
Not Hole. What was her name? She was in Hole maybe at one point.
Um.
I think she was. I know she was in a documentary I watched recently, and I totally forgot. I was like, oh yeah, because there's another. I think it's like Lewd, Crude, and Tattooed, the Motley Crue one. That's another DVD. He's on it, man. He's on it. Fuck yeah. Buckfast, get us a sponsorship. Someone get a monk on the phone right now.
I wish. Did I ever tell you? So I used to do a radio show called Cinematic Sound. With
Yeah.
a place called Elk Digital. And on my last show, I did a 5-hour radio show of just me getting pissed all day and just cranking out tunes
Man, that's sick.
on air. Because so that night we had our launch party as well, and it was an open bar. So I was on air from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. to go to the bar for 7 p.m. On air, I drank 2 bottles of Buckfast, full fucking bottles of Buckfast. I got to the bar and drank 14 pints of Guinness.
Oh my
Because
god.
Nathan thought he was a fucking superhero.
Do you just want to die the next day? Did you feel like death?
I had work the next day.
Oh yuck, dude. I'm feeling sick just thinking. I'm shaking like I've got a disease thinking about it. Oh
Well,
man, that's disgusting.
you could have tarred all the roads of Australia with my shit the following day.
That's the scene, hey, because we got some fucking roads. Oh man, that's ugh. I'm impressed though. I feel like I know you pretty well. This is only our second podcast together. We've been talking offline. We've got a very blossoming online relationship happening. It's going very well. Thank you, adult friend finder. But I feel like I already know that about you. I'm like, yeah, no, that's his scene, that's his style. I'm not going to judge him. I never judge anybody,
And neither
especially
did I.
the buck fast drinkers of the world. Holy fuck, man! So was Christmas a solid effort? You just you put a few away.
Yeah, I put a few away. The girlfriend came down as well to meet the parents finally as well.
Lovely. I didn't. That's something we've never talked about. I didn't realize you had a. I mean, I talk about everything on the show, but I've never put two and two together. I thought you were a single
Yep.
man.
But because of comedy and stuff and how well the podcast is kicking off, I try and keep her name and like photos and stuff off social media and out of the limelight because I don't want her to get like personally attacked either.
Yeah, yeah. Good call. I have thought about that. I'm levels below you at this point because I'm not worried about anyone's identity. But I hope there comes a time where I'm worried about getting physically attacked.
Yeah, because like, the thing.
No, I say that. I take it all back. Please don't anyone physically attack me and my family, please. It's a bad thing. Oh, the guilt's setting in already.
I didn't even clock on what you said there till like 5 seconds there. I was like, what? Wait, what?
I was like, well, let's be frank, man. I'm in Australia on the other side of the world. I mean, it's only natural. It takes a little bit of time to travel, right?
See that was the thing because like I have a friend who is podcaster also, and he mentioned his girlfriend one day on the podcast, and because he wasn't replying people's messages and not being like so like and like real big communication with his fans and following, they all went to her,
Yeah, wow.
and I was like, nah, I don't want to do that there. Like even on
Jesus.
Facebook, like even on Facebook and stuff, I'm still single on Facebook. I don't have any photos of me and her up on Facebook because I do not want
Yeah.
that for her.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, hey, because I there's like it's a real 50-50 in the industry, you know, even like Joe Rogan, for example, he's fucking massive, obviously, but he never talks about like
Yeah.
his family or anything like that. But there's other ones I listen to. I think for me, like from the get go, because the King of the Couch was like an extension of my life that I naturally just talked about everything. And when you start talking about your weekend, you're like, okay, well, I'm with my family, and it's hard to start doing. So I just was all in. But there have been moments like as I've grown and grown and grown, I'm like, oh fuck, is it weird? Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can't pull back now, but and I've still got like that personal Instagram account that I promote the show on. Yeah, it is an interesting one. It is an interesting one. By the time I get so big, I'll just get like some bodyguards and shit. You know, private jets, like rap video. That'll be sick. Um, that's nice, man. How did it go? Go well?
Really, really well. Really, really well. I think the parents love her.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yes,
I
you
think.
are.
I think that's what you want.
But then so she's a city girl. She's from Belfast. So coming out
Oh
to
yeah.
like Dungannon, out to the cultures, out to the sticks, as we had called.
Yeah.
Like we were leaving Belfast to drive, which is it's like an hour drive from her place to mine. And she was like, "Oh, does your place have like a Tesco's and like shops and stuff?" I was like, "How fucking city centered are you? You fucking dick!" Like, you know, it's like what? We actually still tell the time by sun. You know, we just look
Yeah.
at the fucking sun. We only got
Just sundials, big
yes,
ones.
sundials, and we recently got Dal up there last week, which is fucking great. You know, it's fucking
Oh man, it is funny like that, hey. But I feel like Ireland's a bit like that, right? It's still like an hour seems like a long way from A to B. It's not like that here. Like I travel like an hour and a half to see my family, you know, from like small city to just a little bit bigger city, you know. But
yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know. I think you'd have to go to fucking Africa to not find like a supermarket. You know what I mean? Like I've seen KFCs in the desert in fucking Abu Dhabi. You know, like they're everywhere. You're like, is that a mirage? No, it's fried chicken. You know, in the fucking desert. But that's nice. Well, I'm happy for you, man. That's
Yeah,
good.
no, it was good. Like, and then over here, we'll talk about your Christmas in a minute. I feel like I'm rambling on
No,
about
no, keep going. This is good. I like it.
it. And then,
This is the
so
show.
every Boxing Day, the local rugby club here in Dungannon has like a Kyle Cup. It's like they play Ballymena every fucking year, and like
Yeah. What did you call it? A Cal Cup.
The Jack Kyle Cup.
Oh, right, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They do that every year, and this year it was in Dungannon. They swap it about every year.
Yeah.
So we were down at the rugby club all day. on the drinks, on the whiskey all day. And she had the privilege to come down and enjoying her day there with all my mates and their respectable partners as well. And it's just weird,
Lovely.
bro. I've never had somebody like her that everybody fucking loves and adores. Everybody loved her, and I was like, fuck, I
Yeah.
can't break up with her now. You know?
Nah. Once she's in the inner circle, it gets weird. You start swapping numbers and stuff like that. Tell you what, have a kid, man. That'll change everything too. Then you're in. That's fucking. You're in there forever. I don't want to be a statistic. We can't break up now.
Nah, fuck that.
Nah. That's cool, man. That's nice. That's How long you been going out with her for? Did you say like 6 months or something?
6-7 months.
6-7 months. The first time she met your parents. Fuck. I feel like a rush. I was living with my partner like 6 months. I'm like 4 years in with like nearly 2 kids. We're just rushing it. That's what I do. Just rushing it.
Oh, you go straight in, no kissing. I know that about you already. You just fucking dive in, like
I'm filthy.
and hope you don't hit the wall, hit the fucking side walls and just fucking bury your face in it.
Yeah, I'm like that. I'm like, again, old fashioned though, you know, as long as it's someone that's not a relative, like I'm all about that, you know. I don't want them in the same room, but I make my intentions known. Yeah, fierce lover. That's what they call me in high school. The fierce lover.
I would love an old fashioned right now.
Yeah, that'd be good, man. That buckfast must be going down. I know you got a lot to do today. There's gonna be a nap at midday somewhere here, I think. Hey.
Well, I did wake up like 2 hours early, thinking we were recording early, but you know.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to get some of them international clocks, because when you text me at 6:20, I was like, I remember saying 8, and I was like, and in my head, stupidly, I'm like, oh yeah, daylight savings, you know, like, because that's what we have here in the States. I'm thinking like world light savings. He's fucking 10 hours behind me, sort of thing. So it's so hard. I do it all the time. My family, we're always calling each other on the phone, and I'm like, hey, what time is it there? It's like always the same time, in like 33 years, you know, same time. But
no, I messaged you last night being like, so 9 a.m. my time. You're like, yeah, and I was like, oh fuck, I gotta get up early.
I think I said yeah, but 8 p.m. my time. And that obviously now we know that doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. No, we're going 10 a.m. my time, 8 p.m. your time at all times. That's it.
It was the math. It was the math. I'd like to do a morning one, mate. Maybe have a little cappuccino or something here. You know, just really professional, like we're a fucking morning talk show one time, drive time. I'm impressed that you did a radio show. I used to always like. It's one of those things now doing a podcast, and this is something we talk about. I feel like the radio is. I actually listened to the radio today for the first time in a long time. And the only reason I listened to it was my daughter had my phone, and I just like, I got to listen to something, man. I'm scanning like radio station. They're all shit, all terrible. It's too many ads, shit song, just not even good chat, dumbass chat, just stupid, you know, fucking some sort of weird agenda. And I'm like, the radio's dead. Like, it's dead. It doesn't know it's dead yet, but it's 100% fucking dead. Like, give it 10 years and it's gone. Like, it's going digital, and it's going to be shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
Big note in ourselves. But it is going to be shit like this. People are adults that tune in. They can listen to swear words and stuff like that. I want to hear real talk, not bullshit manufactured crap. And hang on, now we're going to cut to 50 ads and then put on the next fucking Ed Sheeran song. You're like, kill me now.
I was thinking of my radio show. It was digital. Pardon me.
It's repeating on it. Get the man some antacid. He's an antacid.
I near poked him in my mouth there. Fucking, it was an online radio show, so like you could sit there and swear and pretty much say whatever the fuck you wanted. But for the first couple of episodes, I was like really strict with myself. I was like, I don't want to swear on air, because it's a level of professionalism.
Yes.
And it's something I wanted to stick to. And then one day I fucking let a fuck out, and I was like, right, that's the door opened. I'm fucking going hard here. Never said cunt though, but I always said fuck.
Yeah, I mean, we know about the word cunt. We love and respect it, but it's a harsh word. Like it's when you start saying cunt, you know that you're in the podcast game. You know that you're like, oh, okay, I'm 100% authentically myself, and I can't turn it around yet. You know? I might as well tell them about the whole stepsister, twin sister porno. Fuck, I can't. There's no turning back now. We'll wake up with like mounds of guilt just pummeling us. But that's my bold statement for 2022. I think the fucking radio's dead, and I just think it doesn't know it's gone yet. Like, I was listening to it, and I was scanning it, everything, and I'm like, this is just all shit. and I'm looking for the most obscure stuff. I think I landed on like an Aboriginal punk show, and I was like, finally something that's got some fucking weirdness about it that I'm
Yeah.
interested in. You know what I mean? And the music wasn't that bad. You know, I was like, this is cool, but that was it.
Yeah, no, so, like, radio is a dying art, and it's really unfortunate that's the case. Because I did love my time doing it, but because it's an hour and a half drive away, and I have so
Yeah,
much shit juggling and planning and prepping and stuff, I didn't have the time for it anymore, and I'm gutted that I
yeah,
can't do it anymore. But I'd hosted a show called Cinematic Sound, so every
yeah,
song you heard in the fucking show was linked to a movie.
yeah.
For example,
Nice. I was gonna say, what was it has to do with something to do with movies, right?
yeah, for example, like Guns N' Roses, "You Could Be Mine" was linked to what movie?
Terminator 2.
Uh, Derek and the Dominoes, "Layla" was linked to what movie?
I feel like this has got so many connotations, man. But isn't that Casino?
It's right behind you.
Oh, Goodfellas. I
Yeah,
swear to God, I swear. Is it on the back here? It's got to be on the back. I swear to God, it was in.
it's
No,
Casino.
there's another. There is another song in Casino when he's getting blown up or at the start of the music. It'll come to me. We'll talk about this.
Um,
That's cool. I like trivia. We should host an online trivia.
because the song "Layla" was played in the Goodfellas when they would find all the dead bodies after they'd whacked everybody.
Fuck. Yes, you're right. But it's the end bit, right? That whole like
It's
two and
the
a
end.
half minute.
Yeah,
Yes, that's where I'm getting confused.
yeah.
There's Yeah, fuck, you're a smart man. You just outsmarted me tonight. Made me look like a right cunt. Yeah. No, that's good because for years, right? I remember hearing that, and it's kind of that. It sort of builds up, but it's sort of totally different to the song.
Yeah.
And I'm because when you play it on the radio and shit, when you would have heard it, you never listen to that end bit. And I never for
Oh,
years I didn't realize that was Eric Clapton. I was like, what? Like, or Derek and the Dominoes. So I got to be honest. I got to be honest with you. That song, it kind of annoys me. It's one of those songs you're like, yeah, it's a nice song, but I get over it really, really quickly. Like I'm just
yeah.
like some old songs like that. You're like, cool, classic, I get it, but I can't listen to it anymore.
No, do you have like a movie with like possibly one of the best soundtracks linked to it ever? Like, is there a movie where you'd literally watch it purely for like the soundtracks in it alone?
Well, yeah, I do. I do. It's probably a bit of a cop out, man. I tell you what. Well, okay, look, any Quentin Tarantino movie, generally speaking, has like badass soundtracks. If you're
Yeah.
into the eclectic sort of shit, I was listening to the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood soundtrack over the weekend. Actually, like, there's just some good things, and I didn't even really get into that movie that much. I got to be
Yeah.
honest. One movie, man, and it's close to your home. I love The Commitments. It's like on my top 10 movie
Oh
list of all time. You
fuck!
know what I
I
mean?
I watched that recently. So
Yeah, I watched it probably 6 weeks ago. It's so good.
oh, so good. So like Andrew Strong in that movie was 16, and that was his actual voice.
Dude, and how big is he for a 16-year-old? It's mind-boggling. One, and
Fuck.
that's his voice. That to me is probably, like that's probably my favorite like movie music soundtrack because it's like real
Yeah.
songs but done like well, all covers. I think it's just such a unique movie. Like there's other ones you've got like I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like that's just so
Oh,
unique.
fuck yes. So I record a podcast with like two other lads or three other lads. We call it the Fabulous Foursome. Shout
Yeah,
out the McLeod podcast and ASAP podcast. And they're going to do like a lip sync battle thing.
yeah, nice.
So I plan like this is my genuine plan. I'm going to dress up in a dress, and be the bearded lady from The Greatest Showman and sing "This Is Me."
Yes, okay, I'm down with that. I
But
need to see this.
but in the middle, there's going to be a break in the music, like like a DJ scratching, fucking scratching the decks, and then break into sweet transvestite, rip the fucking dress off, lingerie, fishnets, high heels,
Yes.
fucking Tim Curry impression.
Now we're talking. Tim Curry. Yeah, now we're talking. That's hot. You can't go wrong with sweet transvestite. You know what I mean? You can't go wrong as a Frankfurter, right? You can't. So, yeah, that'd be
Oh,
my picks, man. What about you?
you're actually talking about the movie still? That's okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You're trying to tell me something here, and I'm just like glossing over it. Call me old fashioned. Call me old fashioned. You know what I mean?
There's
We
not.
just used to wear our lingerie in the bedroom, so.
That's the name of the podcast. Call me old fashioned. There
Call
you
me
go.
old fashioned. I just talk about old world values, you know.
But Tim Curry, that movie, what a god. Tim Curry,
Yeah,
just in general, fucking amazing.
yeah, he's and you know what? Like, I love these actors that like have like he hasn't really done a hell of a lot of movies. Like, name like
Yeah,
more than fucking. Some actors are just like they're still going. Like Bruce Willis, man, has a movie coming out like every month. I swear to God, he's got a new action movie coming out every month. But like the Tim Curry's the world. Like, I can literally think of like a Rocky Horror Picture Show. I can think of it, Pennywise,
yeah.
and he's in Home Alone in
Oh,
two.
so he's fucking so good in that movie, and Rob
Yeah,
Schneider too. Fucking
yeah.
so that I personally believe that Home Alone 2 is better than Home Alone 1. I've said it. I've fucking said it.
Yeah, no, I knew we had a lot in common, but that's one more thing we have in common. I back that statement. New York's the nicer city.
Yep.
You still got the wet bandits or the sticky bandits in this one. Like, oh man, I rate it. You know what I mean? It's
And you've got Piers Morgan in there too as the bird lady.
yeah, that's so weird. I nearly shared like a meme. I'm on the fence with sharing memes. You know what I mean? I feel like too many people have taken it on as their right, as their privilege on social media to just repost me. At some point, you've got to stop. Okay, right? We get it. You're into memes and you think that's your claim to fame. You want to add it to your resume and stuff like that. But I didn't want to go down that path. I thought, you know what? I'm better than that. Someone else can organically find it. But I tell you what, he actually genuinely looks like that lady. It has to be him.
Mm.
His buck fast has gone to his head already.
Yeah, so no, sorry, I actually I didn't really hear that because I got a message from work and I was sort of looking at it half in the corner and being like, "Fuck, did I actually do that last night?" I can't remember. Sorry, can you repeat the last 10 seconds you just said there, please? Sorry.
That's very professional of you, Nathan. I was just saying, if you wouldn't mind listening to me, the king of the couch. The king's not just a throwaway title. I actually like to be referred to that if you could just moving forward.
Yes, King AT,
King. Nah, I just said I was talking about Piers Morgan, and I was saying that he actually looks like that woman, like so much, in fact, that I'm not sure it's not him.
No, I'm fully convinced. It's right. It's either his like twin stepsister or his mum.
It's so fucking weird. So weird. What's his deal, Piers Morgan? I know he was English. He's got one of those very punchable heads, a very punchable outlook on life. There's something about him that I just can't take. I can't take him, mate.
I would love to repeatedly high five his face with a brick. It's just
he's got that face. He's got the whole attitude about him that says, "Hey, I just want to be bricked."
But don't get me wrong, I did email his agent to try and get on the podcast there not too long ago.
Did ya?
Yes, mate. See when I have a couple of drinks, that's when the email starts. That's when the emails start going to agents and shit.
I've got to drink more, evidently, because you know what? Then there'd be that awkward thing, like, what if he comes in and says yes, like, "Hey, Piers Morgan's on my podcast." I would just be like, "What do I talk to you about, eh?" You know what I mean? Like, the first question. So, Home Alone 2, were you the bird lady? You know what I mean? Welcome to the show. But
yeah, you don't really know what to talk about. One of the agents that I'm actually currently talking with deals with your guy from Impractical Jokers, Joe Gatto, who's recently left.
Yeah, I know the name. Are you finding managers and shit to talk to as well, or you get passed on and handball the managers and shit, or?
Yeah, well, it's the best way to go through people because, like, you for example, I messaged Richie McCaw on Instagram to try and get him on the podcast for like a breakout rugby side podcast that I want to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know his name. I don't really follow rugby. He's a Union player, right?
Yeah, one of the best All Black players of all time. All Black. Sorry.
There we go. I was close. I said England, but I was close. I know it was Union.
All Black rugby, not like all black. So
I think I know the team. I'm familiar with the All Blacks, the All Black faces. They haven't been seen nowadays. We don't come out to parties.
Yeah, no, they're just they're Aborigines. So do we keep that in? I don't know.
Yeah. Generated. It's generated.
But anyway, back to Home Alone 2. Management. I emailed Richie McCaw and he was like, "Look, I can't say, yeah, I can do this. You need to email this person. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Which deals with his schedule and stuff. Because he doesn't want to turn around and say, oh yeah, I can do tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and then be double booked.
Yeah, fuck. True. Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, you've really inspired me to hit up more people. I feel like I've talked, like, everyone that I've asked, no, except for one person, um, has said, yeah, like, I'll come on the show. And if I followed it up, they've come on the show. It's interesting. The one person I asked to come on the show that hasn't come on the show or never got back to me, there's no discredit, is Ginger Wildheart, that does the Clan Abuse theme song for the show.
Yeah.
So when I reached out to him initially, he said, yeah, you can absolutely use the music. I don't care. And I was like, that's sweet. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
And he said, and it was just one of those things. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's like the power of the internet right now is like amazing. I suppose people got time on their hands too, but that's when it's good. I mean, sometimes you need that Dutch courage to just go, fuck it, press send. I love just typing a message going, do I send this? Bang. And you can't take it back. You're like, oh. If they don't get back to me, well, fuck, I've tried.
It got to the stage that I was writing so many emails that I ended up like almost Joe ad libs, where you have like a paragraph and you have a wee like space in each in each sentence you can add a word in.
Yeah.
I've got that pretty much lined up as a copy and paste thing for all my emails.
Oh yeah. I do that all the time for work, man. I find Instagram's good. I've just fucking cracked onto Twitter a bit, to be honest, like because you can do that like direct messaging shit. But I can't really get into Twitter. Like I've never, besides looking at stuff for a few select people, the idea of using Twitter like hurts my brain. But Instagram's been pretty good to contact people so far.
See, I'm in quite a good position with my podcast because I've had that girl Zombie on Dead on with like 5 million TikTok followers.
Yeah.
Which I always mention that in every email, just to say, look, this is the fucking level that I got to with like such a high profile character like her on TikTok.
Yeah.
Come on, head
it's
on.
It's smart, man, because it gives you a bit of that credibility too. Hey, I think, and that's probably when the self-doubt clicks. It kicks in or whatever. But you're like, fuck it, I've got nothing to lose. If people don't want to do it, that's up to them. You know what I mean? But if you never fucking try, then you're just gonna be that cunt talking to yourself in a bedroom forever. Yeah.
So, like I'm a firm believer. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
So there's no shame and harm in me asking at all.
Yeah. That's cool, man. More power to you. I know some of the guests you got coming up. We won't go too crazy, mate, but I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. I don't know how much you're leaking. I don't follow your every move on social media, evidently.
I sort of leak them drips and drabs. I don't turn around and say like I've got this and this on this month. Enjoy because things come up, plans change. Like we initially were planning to record this podcast before New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And it
changes.
Things fucking change. And then we were both enjoying our Christmases. For example, we're going to get into your Christmas right now. How was your Christmas?
Mate, it was good. It was. I tell you what, it didn't feel like Christmas. I was not that I'm a Grinch or anything like that. I just coming in the year. I talked about it on a podcast a few while. Been financially like, oh god, what's going on? Running out of money. My partner and I, we don't really buy presents for each other anymore for Christmas. So it's very much just about the daughter. But it was good, man. Look, her sister was trapped in Sydney, on the COVID lockdown for ages, so her and her partner were able to come up, which was really nice. Man, a lot of drinks were harmed over the holiday period. Abused even. They were physically abused. So no, it was good, man. It was good. Christmas here is like, it's because it's the same date in every fucking country, of course, but the Christmas Eve is the fucking, I was like lost my train of thought. Christmas Eve is always like heavy on the drinks, nice dinner, get up, either my side or Beck's side, day of drinking, seafood, all that shit. And then Boxing Day is my cousin's birthday, so we do that. So basically got Chris, 1, 2, 3, bang, bang, bang. So by the 27th, you're like, oh, fuck, do I back it up? But my problem is, man, this is where I fuck up, right? Because I usually get so excited coming into Christmas and finishing work that I'll start drinking like prematurely, well premature, So you're like, I'm finishing work Friday, it's Monday, I'll crack whiskey on the podcast, and I think it was all downhill from there. Like that was it. And then there was like a full on like panic attack, I think, on like the 29th of like December. I'm just like, oh, my whole world's fucking coming in. Like, I'm not doing the podcast. I'm not working. It's like idle hands at the devil's playground. You're like, oh, I'm an alcoholic. What's going on? I thought I had it all together. And then you're fucking racing quickly to New Year's Eve and you're like, fuck, we're here again. But other than that, man, it was lovely.
Okay. See, I was thinking like, over Christmas, I was off from the 14th of December right through to the 4th of January.
Yeah, that's a big break. Yeah, that's a big
And then,
break.
like, obviously, shit happened there with my health at the start of the year. But my mum was like, "Oh, is it drink related? Is this why you've got this infection?" I was like, "Mum, I don't drink through my fucking ear."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but she's like, it's connected, because the breath work thing.
Yeah.
It's a canal, into your mouth hole. There's only one way to find out. Mum puts fucking beer to his ear. Yeah, it's a crazy, it's a weird period. Hey, like every year I like set out with the best intentions and stuff like that, and I always go, look, I'm gonna have X amount of dollars by Christmas. We're gonna be, we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna be doing it like that, and it just, I don't know if this is shitty planning or shitty goals, fucking achieving, whatever you want to call it, but you come into it and you're like, whoa, fuck, it's Christmas again. Like, I'm getting rat shit. You're catching up with everyone. The weather was fucking mental here, so it was like raining. It was all shit. And, but you know what? Under all that craziness, like I do love Christmas. Like, it's a beautiful time. Everyone, it's that one day, generally speaking, for my household anyway. Everyone's together and it's all sweet. Not that it's never not sweet, but it feels sweet. You don't worry about shit. You're never thinking about your job or the fucking bullshit you didn't do. You're like, right, I'm just thinking about Christmas and getting on it, eating too much food. Like, you never want to go to bed like half hungry. You're like, I need to be fucking full of shit here. Like, to the point it hurts. Yeah, man, that's Christmas. That was good. I liked it. Now I'm back at work. New Year's Eve. Do you do a New Year's thing? Do you guys do? Man, here COVID's going fucking mental. Literally every man and his dog's got COVID. So it's kind of like it's it's just like whatever. People just hanging out. I had a sushi platter, bottle of champagne at home. It's very very sweet. I watched Dragged Across Concrete.
Oh well, Liam Neeson.
Nah, it's nah, no. It's Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn.
Oh,
I
fuck.
would, I wouldn't. I'll tell you what. It's probably my least favorite of the director's work. It just wasn't, for a title that says "Dragged Across Concrete." It actually wasn't as violent as I thought it was going to be.
Oh really?
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. Have you seen Brawl in Cell Block 99?
Is that the one where Vince Vaughn has a fucking swastika on his forehead?
Yeah, he's a bit of a bad cunt, and then he goes
Yeah.
to jail. No,
Yeah.
he's not. He doesn't have a swastika. He does get something No, he gets his thing. You're thinking of fucking Kevin James, um, the Happy King of Queens. Adam Sandler
Oh
movie.
yeah,
Thinking
yeah.
of Becky. Now check out Brawl and Cell Block 99. If you want violent, that's like a bit over the top. Have you ever seen Bone Tomahawk?
No, see, I'm not a movie guy really at all.
Oh, dude.
That's
There you
cool.
go. Well,
Well, violent movie. I'm not really a big fan of violent movies. I'm give me comedy all day, like
yeah, okay, fair call then. Well, I would avoid Bone Tomahawk and Brawl and Cell Block 99 if you don't like violence. Like, heavily avoid it.
Well, it's not that I don't like violence. It's like it doesn't excite me as much as a good comedy does, to be honest.
Yeah, or a couple of twin stepsisters. Comedy's good, but I tell you what, I love comedy, but it's so hard to find good comedy that you're like, I'm gonna fucking just be fucking LOLing, ruffling all over the floor here for an hour and a half.
Do you have like a movie, like a comedy movie that you always watch? You can always watch it and fucking always find it hilarious.
Yeah, there is, and even to the point where I might not be like fucking laughing out loud, but like it makes you feel good like
Yeah.
the whole time. You know what? This is gonna sound pretty childish, but I've always been a big fan of the American Pie movies. Like,
Yeah.
I think I grew up,
Yeah.
and like Stifler and shit. Like, man, they're all so funny in their own way. Like, I just watched the reunion recently. The American Pie reunion was like so funny. I thought, I was like, this is just fucking legit.
It's criminally underrated.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. Commitments is always like a good one for me, but I don't sit there and like fucking laugh out loud all the time. For a period there, man, I was like constantly watching Talladega Nights with Will Ferrell.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, that was just the whole scene where they're talking about the baby Jesus and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that was a good one. Yeah, there's a few. I thought The Hangover was brilliant.
I've docked 1 kilo of the Colombian's finest cocaine to the bottom of your car. What are you gonna do, son?
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, that's it. There's a cougar in the car. It's Karen. Oh,
Shake and bake,
man,
baby. Oh, that's what we should call this our podcast, Shake and Bake.
the Shake and Bake podcast. Yeah,
Shake
I
and
reckon we
Bake
should do
podcast.
that. Eh? We should do that.
Get merch.
Um, yeah, merch, copyright, trademark. No one fucking can take that shit yet. Okay. I saw you got some merch coming. Just to keep fucking pinging off tangents. I saw. I will say I felt rude because you put up a yes or no thing and I forgot to click it.
Yeah,
That's always
I
a
noticed
fun.
that. I noticed that.
Well, I tell you why I did it. I tell you why I did it. You know, because I'm not in the greatest financial position. And I thought if I click yes, he's gonna potentially hold me to this as like a down payment. And if I click no, it could damage the relationship. So I'll just leave you in the dark with a maybe.
Right,
We'll see. We'll see.
how
You
about
know,
this? How about this? So I have hoodies lined up and I have beanies. That's an exclusive now. I've got these lined up.
yes,
Um,
nice. I like it. Love where your head's at.
how about I send you a hoodie and a hat and you send me a hoodie and a hat?
Yeah. All right. Done. We can do that.
We'll do that.
Let's do that. Let's talk. Let's get our managers together. We'll talk. We'll discuss sizing, and we'll do that. We'll do that. It would be nice. It would be nice one day to just do that. But yeah, fuck yeah, man. I like it that you're wearing a hoodie right now. I've got the tank top on because when you got the tank top on, I'll have the hoodie on. This is perfect.
Yeah.
We're literally burning the candle from both ends right now. We're like the Earth is spinning on our axis right now.
Oh,
Like
100%. Yeah. Like
that's science.
I'm also wearing the hoodie that made me want to start podcasting too, a local podcast.
I was gonna say, man, as soon as I saw it, I was like, it's not a band, but Dirt Civil. I've heard of that. It is a podcast, right?
Yeah. So actually funny story that I haven't talked about in a very long time.
I'm gonna
On
get
one
to
of the
that.
on their podcast, they do a thing called voice note confessionals. So you
Yeah,
send a voice note in, completely anonymous, and you tell a story about something that happened to you.
yeah, yeah.
So I
I like
told a
it.
story, which is now part of my stand-up, about
Yeah.
boking on a girlfriend mid shag.
Uh,
I was on top, So
is this you? Is this you? You're the voice note that's sent into the show, so you're actually
yeah,
the
yeah,
the shagging spewer.
yeah, the shagging spear, and
For
then
the Australian audience, I will say, like they've never heard the term boking. I have, and I'm not even saying it in an Irish accent, but it means spewing. This
yeah,
dirtbag is spewing on his girlfriend while inside of her.
fresh kebab. You could have boxed the kebab. It was
Oh.
fucking
And
disgusting.
those Irish kebabs are good. They're big. That's a lot of
It's a lot of meat.
fucking quote unquote boke.
There was a lot of lamb on her chest.
Oh,
But
lamb.
let's just clarify that sick was not the substance I wanted to put on her chest that night, but she got it.
It just didn't plan out.
Yeah, no, it didn't. It didn't. It planned all over. So fucking, I didn't realize how big their podcast was, and I haven't seen that girl since that night because I walked down the stairs and because I was about to go down and get a towel for her, and all I heard was, "I'm gonna kill you, you big headed cunt!" It's just her shouting from the bedroom.
You're like,
I,
who's that? Where's that?
I was like, fuck you, that's very rude. Um, and I walked down the stairs out the front door and never seen her again. So like,
Whoa.
one of the questions I want to ask you is, how long do you think she waited for the towel?
There must be a true answer to this because were you there with the towel? That would have been an instant thing for me. That is probably a bit of a deal breaker. That would have. I'd like to say it would have made me go limp, but I haven't been in that situation, so I won't speculate. I'm thinking like straight away, but something tells me she waited quite a bit of time.
I don't know. I never seen her again. I never spoke to her again.
I'm gonna
So
call her lamb chest. I hope she is listening. We all know ill will towards you,
so,
Landy.
so like this is the thing. So on their podcast, like they rake in like what me and you're getting together, they're fucking times on that by 10 at least.
Yeah.
Listens wise, and her friends must listen to the show and realized that it was me and told her.
Yeah.
And then I got a fucking lot of backlash, and I was like, "Oh, lads, I need you to take that fucking podcast down because I'm getting a lot of fucking abuse here."
Did they take it down?
Yeah, they did, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll take it down. But end of the day, there was no names mentioned. There was no. I was very no names mentioned. There was no real specifics in it. It's just because she was getting a lot of abuse that I was like, right, okay. Um, so they took it down. But I did say to the guys, look, it's part of my stand up now, so fucking fire it up. I don't give a fuck.
Put it back in.
Put it back in,
Yeah.
just slip it back in like a deranged uncle. Um,
Yes.
just fire it back in, straight in, no kissing.
Oh man, we have commented quite a bit on incest tonight. This week, I didn't think we were gonna start the year like this, but this is good. We're setting the bar very
Yeah,
low,
we're setting the bar low. We're going hard. We're going straight in early, and then
straight in, no kissing, no lube. It's painful to listen to
yeah,
and hear and
get
feel.
like a tiny bit of spit. Tell her to bite the pillow. Tell her to fuck up
Yeah,
and enjoy it.
little bit of spit, like nighttime spit, not morning spit, because you never have any spit in the morning. You're so dry. You just like
Oh, yeah.
you're like a carpenter, just like gripping wood. Oh.
Well, in my experience, everything in the morning is dry, even the woman.
Yeah, yeah. And in your sense of humor, you're just very nonchalant. Sometimes you're the coolest cucumber. Cucumber. I don't know what I'm saying there. I don't know why cucumber was in
Where'd that come from?
conversation. I don't even know.
Are,
I
are
don't
you?
think this is non-alcoholic. It's been
Yeah, I was
been
gonna say,
spiked.
is
I've
that
been
not
spiked.
is that non-alcoholic cider going to your head, or what's going on?
I, I feel like Leo DiCaprio in Shutter Island. I've roofied myself. I've just fucking roofied myself,
Shutter
man.
Island, Shutter Island was uh was he sane or insane at the end?
I think he was sane. I think the whole thing was he was sane. I think he wanted to get lobotomized.
Oh, right, okay. Let's discuss.
Well, my take on that was that cheeky look that he says there. There's that I can't quote it. It's like something about him going on and pretending that he's X. I don't know. I can't think of the quote. I'm going to butcher it. But then he,
The very end where he's talking Mark Ruffalo, where he's like, "Would you rather
yeah, yeah.
die?
You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
Would you rather die a monster or die a noble man?"
Yeah, right. So he knows that he's done something wrong, right? Which to me is why he's sane. Because when you're insane, you meant to lose all control. That's why you're insane, right? So you have no control over some shit. So he's sane, which is why he's saying that, and he can't live with himself. His partner's dead, all this sort of stuff. He misses her. He's been to war. He knows he's done some heinous shit in war, seen some heinous shit. That's when the doc's like, wait. He clicks on. He's like, wait, what? Like you might be okay here. And he does that cheeky little look back, kind of like, it's okay, I'm about to get lobotomized and be set free. That's my take. Mic drop. What do you think?
Fuck, I don't know, because he goes in and out of reality and his own visions in his head so much
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you don't actually realize when he is in himself and he is himself, and when he's this other guy, was it Teddy Daniels or Teddy something?
It was Andrew Latis and Teddy Daniels. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Teddy Daniels or Andrew Latis. He goes to them characters so much, and there's a point where Mark Ruffalo gives the guy with the Hitler mustache a bit of a look to say, I don't think so. Towards the very end, that he's not fucking okay. And,
Yeah, and that's when they come to take him away, and then he has that little
yeah,
bit. I don't know. It is a good one. It's a fucking good movie, man. It's a good twist.
it's
Like,
such a good twist. Such a good.
yeah,
Is there any movie out there that you like? We might as well make this a movie fucking based podcast now too. Is there any movie out there that there's the twist at the very end is just so killer? And I'm gonna go for a really, really, really quick pee because I'm busting. So
yeah. Pause it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a thing too. Oh, you want me to talk? You want me to talk?
here,
I'll keep talking.
I'll be back in 30 seconds. So whatever. If you need to do something, go do it.
Pause it. I'm gonna get a drink. Pause it.
Okay. I'll just talk here real quick while the King of the Couch is away. I love his background. His background's quite cool. He's got one of my favorite like movies on up there on the right hand side of his of all time, which is Goodfellas. I fucking love the Goodfellas. But yeah, like for all those listeners out there right now, while Aaron goes and gets a wee drink, I'm a big fan of his. Like I do love the fella. We got to know each other through Instagram. I listened to his podcast. I'm a fucking really, really big fan of, and we got quite close. And we're going to do this a monthly thing now. He's actually going to be the start of my first ever vlog as well, which is great. But yeah, me and him have got some big plans. We're going to be talking about them off air too. Just some big things. I've got a lot of comedy things come up with anybody that's listening now as well. May as well promote this and share this now too. I am doing the Chicken Box on the 27th of January in Derry, Londonderry. I am doing the Sunflower Club in Belfast on the 30th. Doing the Pav on the 13th. I'm doing Dailies on the 15th. And I'm doing the 23rd of February in Strabane, the Boiler Room. But yes, all those listeners out there, big shout out to my sexy beast, the Motley Crue King.
Yeah, dude, I'm back. Sorry, man. Intermission.
No, it's fine. I literally took a piss there for 10 seconds and then came back and started talking shit.
It was quick. Yeah, it's happened in the last episode too, where you fucked off to do something, and I just stayed and talked shit. But I thought I'll take advantage. In that short time, I did a wee. I ate a small chocolate, and I got another non-alcoholic cider. So it was pretty productive. Fucking 30 seconds.
It's sort of mental that you're drinking non-alcoholic at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm drinking alcoholic at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Well, last time we did it, man, I drank a whole bottle of red wine that night, and I was like, I was a bit dusty the next day, but I got shit to do. I've got too much to do. I've done it, the whole thing. This Pete's, can I say that? I don't know. Did you mention the other day that who you're talking to later in the day?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so you got Pete's Diary, the Unreal Guitarist, and you've just necked, a decent amount of Buckfast, and you're worried about swearing on the air. So I'm just saying, you could get lippy. You could get lippy.
I've got 7 hours, so
yeah. Once I get the taste for it, though, that's the problem. Oh. Like if I had one or two, I would always go down and have another one or two before I go to bed. This is the problem, man. I've got that addictive nature, Yeah. I tell you what, we talked about it briefly there at the start. I think I said, is it my next guest, Dave Letterman, and he has like Dave Chappelle, and I watched Dave Chappelle and Robert Downey Jr. There's like Kanye and all sorts of people in there. Ironically, man, I'm sitting there last night, right, and I'm like 1 beer, 2 beer, 3 beer, and my partner's going to bed, and I'm like, I love Sundays, like I love a Sunday sesh, but I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, I've got some goals, need to be ambitious, got to go to bed. I was like, maybe one just G&T. I wish I hadn't had it because my colon didn't agree with any of it, right? It was just like going spastic today. But I'm sitting there watching it as I'm like in a pretty stiff G&T. Dave Letterman was like, I quit drinking because at one point in my life, I had all these things that I needed to do. And he's like, I just couldn't get out of my own way with the drinking. So he's like, when I started the Letterman show, he's like, I quit. I went sober. He's like, I haven't drunk in 20 years. And I'm there like, yeah, I got some goals. Good. And then, of course, fucking Robert Downey Jr. comes over and he starts talking about his addictions. And I'm like, holy fuck. I was like, is this a sign from fucking the universe here to tell me to not get another one? I did because, I was in the hole, man. I was in the grips of it,
Do you know who I would love to like record a podcast with, or just interview? Well, 2 people that I'd love to talk about addiction and just life in general. One of them being Robert Downey Jr. because he's fucking had he was a fucking addicted to marijuana when he was 11.
Yeah, dude. He has a mental life, man. And when you watch him now, you like, wait, were you always Iron Man? Did they create Iron Man from your character? Because when I saw Robert Downey Jr. as Robert Downey Jr., I'm like, you're Tony Stark. Like, it's hard to tell the difference, eh? So, but who's the other one you said? That be him? I would love to talk to Robert. He seems so eccentric, man.
And also the bassist of the band that you have on your chest, Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, dude, he would be good. Do you read the Heron Diaries?
Yeah, I've got it somewhere in the house. Unbelievable.
I got it.
And also a bag of heroin.
Yeah. Sometimes after heroin, sometimes after a lot of cocaine, I just shoot heroin and just come down. I mean, that seems like to me, that's like logic 101, you know? Take the vitamins. Could you imagine that? Like, the fact that, you know what gets me fucked though, is like his memory must be pretty good. Like,
Yeah,
after just years of smashing heroin and cocaine, he can write a book. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
have you ever achieved anything like that where you've hit something so hard and then you're like, I'm gonna make money off that and recount the whole thing? You're just like, I can't remember what I did on Saturday night.
But the thing is, though, like Nicky Six, he's overdosed like what twice in fucking heroin. No, sorry, he overdosed once. He was fucking uh, two adrenaline shots to the heart, hence kickstart your heart or kickstart my heart, to get him back alive. But that doesn't baffle me that he's not dead. The person that baffles me that isn't dead yet from fucking the amount of alcohol and fucking drug abuse is Ozzy.
Yeah,
How the
he's looking pretty old. Yeah, some people can just do it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I know Lemmy from Motorhead. He was another one. Like, he was just always on it. And I know he got cancer. You know, it was cancer killed him. I don't know what sort of cancer it was. You got to think his lifestyle plays a part. Everyone's lifestyle plays a part in them dying, I suppose, because no one is immune to it yet. But yeah, Aussies. Keith Richards is another one. You're just like,
okay.
wait, how? You're like, what? But it's so cool. This is what makes these people to me like gods, because they're not like anyone else. They're unique,
Oh.
and there's never going to be another Lemmy or Aussie or fucking Keith Richards. You know, Molly Crew people. You know, there's never going to be Nicky Six again, and they're just interesting people. But yeah, they like Nicky Six is very interesting, man, because he's had like two worlds. Like, he's had that like whole incredibly fucked up alcohol and heavy drug use,
Yeah.
and now he's been like 20 something years sober, and he's just like, man, he's like aging backwards. Like, he's still crazily successful. You're like, what the fuck? You know, like, oh god, they make it look appealing.
Oh, fuck that. Oh, yeah. They do. They really do. But the thing is, right? Fucking, you can answer this question or you can't. You can avoid it if you want. If the opportunity was there for you to take the likes of heroin just to try it once and not be hooked to it afterwards, would you do it?
Nah, I don't think I would. I don't think if you could guarantee that you wouldn't be hooked, like if that was some like scientific
Yeah,
actual
I
thing.
like if it was a one-off hit, it's like bang, you take it, you're done. You have a really bad come down for a day. You get the sweats, you get your shitting out of both fucking ends. Um, and
Yeah.
you're not fucking like hooked on it. It's a one-off. Would you do it in a controlled environment?
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Only because, like, well, this is my rationale. You could get really high and feel really good, but then you just said you're going to have a come down, you might feel shit.
Yeah,
I'm at the age now where I'm going, it's not worth it. You know, like, you're like,
yeah.
um, and then I don't know, is it a little bit pussy to take away all the the addiction of it all? I mean, let's just go in hard like the OGs did it. You know what I mean? Let's just hit it.
That's well.
Um,
The thing is though, like with high become there is low. Like like that stuff doesn't interest me whatsoever. I don't care if people do it. Yes, I've smoked a wee bit of fucking weed in my time, whatever.
yeah,
I'm nothing stronger. If you want to do it, you fill your boots. Like, I have friends that do it. You want to do it, work away. It's never appealed to me. But it baffles me that yes, there's such a fucking high to it, but then for the next 3 days afterwards, that person is just he's fucked.
yeah.
He's not worth a fuck. It's
Nah, I
crazy.
agree. I've never been that into drugs. I've done a few different drugs, but um, I just never, you know, like I never would like drinking's like if I compared it to drinking, right? I've drank for a long time and I could drink for a long time and I like it. And you know, even though it does you like a disservice, it's a hard thing for me to break away from. You're going, oh god, I haven't found something that's like the higher power to go. I'm not doing that shit just yet. That's not like a biblical thing. That's just going, you know, like I'm so into. I got this goal and nothing's gonna fucking get in my way. Whereas drugs, like there's always been an expiry date. Like even weed, man. I used to love smoking weed like way back when, and then it just got paranoid all of a sudden. And then
Yeah.
every time after it, like maybe the 4 or 5 times after it, like over years, it just made me sick. Like I just felt my fucking heart beating in my chest, and then I'd be sick. Right? Did
Mhm.
that pen just fall apart?
Yep. Play a
I'm
curl.
watching that.
Play a curl.
Yeah, that was smooth. That was smooth. We'll edit that out. That's a bit of movie magic, people. Um, drugs. I tell you what though. I tell you what though. In all seriousness, the only drug that I ever thought was like that I've done that was actually addictive at the time of doing it is cocaine. Like cocaine is like it's a hell of a drug, right? But that's
I genuinely wouldn't know. I'm very open and honest. I wouldn't know what it's like at all. I don't know that shit.
nah,
I've had offers and stuff. Never once like interest me. Say, oh fuck, I'll put this something out. You know what I mean?
I've done it a few times, man. Quite a few times, but I haven't for a few years, man. The last again, like you're just saying, like kudos to what you're saying, because the last time I did it, yeah, it was fun at the time, but man, I felt like I wanted to kill myself the next day. Like not that
Yeah.
like I actually would, but that was the feeling of like you're just down, you feel shit. My partner felt shit,
Yeah.
and you're just like, nah, I'm not doing this. Then once my daughter came along, I was like, this is no brainer. Like I've been offered it since. Even weed, no drugs, man. Like that's my policy now. Like fuck that.
Um, are you okay with that being kept in the podcast? By the way, you saying you've done that stuff?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fine with that, man.
that's just
Yeah.
fine. I'm just making sure. Um,
No, that's cool. Like with things like that, man. I think in this day and age, say looking at weed, like now that it's legal and stuff, the amount of people that I know that smoke it that have come out of the woodwork that I'm thinking, are you just smoking it now because it's legal? Have you always smoked it? Like parents and stuff like that. You're like, but yeah, no, I don't think like that. I tell you what, I've always admired people like yourself that go, I'm not interested because I'm sure at one point I probably succumbed to peer pressure, right? But I appreciate people that go, nah, like,
or like, yeah, no, like, don't get me wrong. Like when the opportunities have presented themselves, there has been temptation. Like
yeah,
that's a given because there always is that sort of inkling in the back of your head, thinking, "Fuck, I wonder what this is actually like." You know,
yeah.
it's for example, gay porn. I wonder what it's like. You know what I mean? It's
Oh, let me tell you, um, yeah, mate, Smitty, it's just one click away, and your whole life as you know it could have been a fucking lie. So maybe just if you just stop looking at twin steps and just you could look at some twin step brothers and just
I
go,
was just about to say that, like, we'll change this to twin step brothers or just twin brothers.
"Oh."
Yeah.
See, that's weird because you kind of lost me when you started talking family again. But two complete stranger dudes, that's a different story. No, I don't know. Nah, yeah, I agree. I think that's yeah. We'll think about that. Both of us will get offline tonight and just be like, maybe. But there's always maybe. Oh
Yeah, like
fuck.
no, like I said, there's always been that inkling and like temptation and like you said, peer pressure. It's a hard thing not to succumb to at times.
Yeah, I think what I like about when people grow up too as well, like when they go like you've got your morals right, you've got your standards. 20-year-old me was a different person. 32-year-old me would I can say no. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit now what people think of me. I was at a party a few years ago with some of my really good friends, and like all of them except my partner, she's pregnant. Another chick was pregnant, and another girl. They were all smoking weed, right? All of them. Maybe 5 or 6 people, all good mates, and they were all like, "Here, have it," and I'm like, "Nah, I don't want it, have it." And it was like they were all, and I'm going. A weaker person would have gone, "All right," but I knew, right, and that was where they were so sick, and I've never been able to tie this with drinking just yet. But I knew that the last time I smoked weed, I was just cooked like for 5 hours, just spewing, and I'm like, I'm having a sick night.
Oh,
My banter is at an all time high, and you want to turn me into a fucking zombie with that shit? I'll be on your carpet like just spewing. Like there's no point.
full whitey.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Fucking.
just
Cause I was thinking, so like 2 years ago pre-lockdown, fucking that's mad. Even saying that 2 years ago pre-lockdown, that's
I
fucking
know.
that's
It's
scary.
weird. It's gone on that long now that it's the there's no normal anymore. This is the new
No,
normal. It's fucked.
there was a night that there was a rugby night out, and I fell in with this crowd of people. Like, me and all the rugby lads went out for a load of drinks after the game. I was fucked. End up falling with a crowd at a club here in the town. Went back to a guy's house, and there was about 20 of us in this house, and they were all like, smoking and doing whatever else. And we were all sitting in like the kitchen slash living room. It was like basically one big room with massive sofas everywhere, and they were passing around a plate of Colombian's finest. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
this guy
My
whipped.
compliments to the chef.
This this guy whipped out literally a sandwich bag full of coke. And I was like, what the fuck? And like, you know, I was sitting there and like I don't judge anybody that does it. Each their own. I don't care.
Mm.
It all getting passed around and like I've had the plate in my hand sometimes. People are like, oh Nathan, go do it, do it, do it. Oh, you be grand, do it, do it, do it. And I'm like, that doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. All I smell is diesel right now. I fuck that.
Yeah,
No.
it's the weirdest thing. Like when you think about it, right? Like, and I tell you what, just from dabbling just a bit, I've never thought that the high was exceptional for the
Mm,
amount of money. Like, I don't know what drugs it cost over there, but like cocaine's not cheap here. Like, for example, it's definitely not cheap here, right?
mm.
So people spend like half a paycheck on a fucking bag of this stuff to just get cooked on a Saturday or whatever. I've never gone, that's appealing to me, right? I've always one of those guys. Just,
Out of curiosity, right? Would you know off the top of your head how much like a gram of coke would cost?
man, like I'd say like a few $100 in this country now. Probably a gram. I don't know. Like yeah, maybe $400 or like something like
Fuck,
that.
really?
Yeah, here it's expensive, man. I don't know. I don't know for a fact because I've never. I was always that tight ass guy. I was like, hey, just let me get in on this.
Like, 'cause I've a general idea of what it is over here. I want to actually do like a cash converter to see what the fucking like ratio is. Like, do you reckon like maybe 300?
Yeah, it's something like that, 300, $400. Yeah, it's not cheap, man, in this country, and I know that because we've been overseas, um,
Fucking
and snagged some, and it's a lot cheaper overseas.
over here, it would be like £200 a gram.
I might be wrong with the
Like,
gram to
like
the
you're
everything called an eight ball.
oh, 8 ball.
Yeah, but,
Oh, right.
that might be
Okay.
more. That might be like $800. I'm not sure what the measurements are. I've never bought it that much. If that makes sense, I've always
Yeah,
just let
yeah.
someone has had a
Like,
lot of wealth buy it.
because of because of the clientele that I know. That sounds bad too, doesn't it? Like, cause like my friends that like I've hung around with and like go out and parties with them and stuff, and like people like coming to the door to knock the door and say, "Here, there's your stuff," and like, "Oh, I need to scrape together 100 quid here for this." I have a
Yeah,
general idea what it's like, sort of
yeah.
what the barrier is.
It's
But
not cheap. It's definitely not cheap, man.
fuck
That's why those fucking drugs like fentanyl and shit are going and fucking taking off, and then they're killing
yeah,
people because they're shit. The
yeah.
stuff that give you a mad high, but they're cheap, right? And drug users fucking can't afford it. Cocaine's like the rich drug, man. Like heroin and those other ones are like for people that can't afford it. That's why I think why they get it. They
Like
must start there.
they're
I don't know.
basically
I just yeah,
they're basically for us, for
yeah,
me and
yeah.
you.
They're for us. Yeah, yeah. They're for like the Motley Crue fans of the world. You know that fucking can't even afford a shirt with fucking sleeves. No, but yeah, nah. To go back to your original question, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, man.
Oh yeah, I actually forgot about that question.
No, we fucking. This is good. This is why we like this show.
Yeah,
The Shake and Bake 14-hour podcast. How long are we doing? Is this? Are we like an hour in?
we're an hour and 14. Well, an hour and 12 in.
Yeah.
I pressed record like 2 minutes early just to make sure it was up and running live and good before we actually did kick into the show.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. No, that's all good, man. Because I'm not. I don't have a timer on here, eh? Hey, and one thing I wanted to give you a shout out. Your solo potty the other night. I liked the way you did that, but I specifically liked the section where you just gushed over me. That was really nice. Um, but it brings me to my point. Nah, it was from the heart. It was good. I liked it. I did get a mad kick out of that because I didn't expect that, and I appreciate all the other guests and stuff. I was like, "Fuck, you've done pretty well." Like in for 36 episodes, this might be number 37 or something.
This this
I thought
this
the
will be
way you carry on. What's that?
this will be 38, I think. Well, actually, no.
Yeah.
Are you gonna like? We're going to do real quick, like tactical talk with the podcast here for 2 minutes. Are you going to post this tonight or going to post it tomorrow?
Well, you got the recording, so if you give it to me tonight, I might do it tonight. If not, do it tomorrow.
Yeah, because literally all I need to do is if you take the SD card, I put it in an SD converter, put it in the laptop, and we transfer it to you again. So you can do
Yeah,
it.
just do that. I'll probably do it tonight, man. It's like 9:40 p.m. here.
Well,
I still got time.
I'll release this as a bonus today then.
Yeah,
Well,
do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
just you let me know when you post it, and I'll post it too. I'm
Cool.
branching out. I've branched out to YouTube now as well, so I'll be putting this on YouTube as well. So if you don't
Fuck
mind,
yeah.
if you don't mind,
No, that's cool. I'll do the same thing. Sometimes YouTube just was like delayed like a day because the file like it's a bit longer to download
yeah,
and shit. I never got it on the same night, depending
yeah,
on what time I finished up. But that was 2 points. That's going to take me to my next point. But you just raised a good point too. You had something fucking really brilliant you said on the podcast, and people think that we probably just get on here and turn the mics on and talk some shit, and we do talk some shit. There's no two ways about it. But there is a lot of effort going into the fact that you need like a Zoom account. You need to have these fucking podcasting platforms. You spent a lot of money on the mics, the headphone, the roadcaster. All this shit adds up. Then you got to edit the fucking shit, especially if you need it, and even more if you got to edit something out of it. You've talked about. You don't want to say, yeah, can you actually edit out that drug use? But so it is, and then you've got to have the personality to go. You know what? Like, yeah, I am good enough to talk to these people, and I can relate to them and ask them all these different questions. Fucking listen to them, and then make sure I'm going to ask them another question without sounding like a fucking idiot that wasn't listening to them.
yeah.
It can be hard, man. So kudos for you for breaking that down as well. I thought that was beautiful.
Thank you. Because like the amount of feedback I got about that solo podcast was ridiculous. Like,
Yeah,
as
it looked
as you
good.
as you know, I don't do solo podcasts. I don't like them. I hate them. But it's something that I've given myself a challenge for this year to do more
Yeah,
of. Because,
yeah,
for example, like I put a ridiculous amount of pressure on myself to like get guests on every week, to get a guest podcast out every week. I don't want to get that pressure and fucking that weight on me anymore. For example, if on a Saturday night, I've got the next 7 episodes going to be recorded here this week, which will gives me a lot more free space to do whatever the fuck I want. Go hang out with a girlfriend, not worry about fucking anything else in life.
yeah,
But when it gets to the stage where I'm like, oh fuck, I can't get somebody on this week. For example, I have a fellow that was meant to be on tomorrow who had to cancel due to family reasons, which is fine. Tomorrow I'll record a solo podcast to compensate for that because that's what I'm going to do
yeah.
now. You know what I mean?
Man, we're probably different there because like I feel like, oh shit, I should have more guests, but I actually get a mad kick out of the solo ones because it's, to me, well, it's honest. You just have to be yourself, and you have to
Yeah.
be somewhat funny, somewhat poignant, just fucking story, and you never know. The cool thing is, kind of like this conversation, you don't, even it's yourself, you just don't know where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't know what people are going to resonate with. And it's on you, man. You're like, fuck, if it's a shit show, then it's on you. If it's a great show, it's on you. So, but it's good, man. But you did it well. I mean, fuck, if you talk to someone like this, you can, weirdly, you can talk to yourself.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like that was the thing. Like, so like I said earlier on the episode, I recorded a podcast with 2 guys called or 3 guys called the Fabulous Foursome.
Yeah.
And they have complimented me so many times. And again, I'm going to give them a shout out once more. Adam and Sean from the ASAP podcast, which stands for All Shite, another podcast, and the Mick
Yeah.
Lav podcast, which is a sport based podcast. And they've said to me that, Nathan, you can pull an interview or a podcast completely out of your ass because you're a mental bastard.
Yeah.
And I
You
couldn't
obviously
agree
hitting
more.
up. Well, you're trying to fucking. You're emailing Piers Morgan. You know what I mean? You're trying to. You're trying to get the fucking bird lady from Home Alone 2 on. Like you're doing. I mean, you're doing well in that way, and that like again, not to sound egotistical, but like it it does take that. Like you got to have some balls about you. Hey, I can fucking email this person or talk to this person, get them on the show, and then you got to do all the shit, man. There's like I've had those instances on a podcast. I think I mentioned it to you once where I was like, when I had Isaac John on, right? I edited it out. But when I had Isaac John on, I was really nervous because he was sort of someone that I sort of followed and looked up to.
Mm.
First time I put the headphones on, I've never worn the consent, and I've never worn prior. You know what I mean? I was like, I'll do it. Headphones, get it right. Did a fucking hour-long thing with a mate. Did it with Jared. Tested every little fucking nook and cranny. Yeah, cool. Bang. 5 minutes into that podcast, my head would just started echoing. I could hear myself, and it was off-putting. You're trying to talk, and it's like, and you're like, and I'm sitting there, and he's looking at me like this, and I'm like, sorry, man. So I actually had to pause the podcast to try and fix it, and I just battled through. Luckily, man, the audio fucked up because it was an echo, right? And I have no idea how it happened, and I had no idea how to fix it. I've never been able to recreate it. And then luckily, I just was like, fuck, I'm just going to ask him if he recorded it, like his assistant. And he's like, yeah, sure, bro. And he emailed me the MP3. I was like, you're a fucking lifesaver, eh?
Oh.
But again, it was just like one of those things. I think people, not sounding egotistical, but people go, "Oh yeah, he's just messaging him," and I did that before work, man. Like one day, like I
Really?
literally was like, "Yeah," he was like, "I've got all these times, and they're all mornings," and I'm like, "Well, I can't do like after 9 o'clock." Like I was like, "Give me 8 a.m." It was like 8 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. And my daughter's out at daycare. I was up here planning, sorted it, bang, clocked off, started the job. You know what I mean? Like it was just like,
That's crazy.
it was good, but it's kind of fun too. Like you get a kick out of it. You're like, I could have just fucking sat around my thumb at my ass, and instead I challenged myself. So fucking
Yeah. See,
yeah,
I think me and you are in a very blessed position because like we know each other quite well now, even though we've known each other literally 6 months.
yeah,
We are quite close. We do get on very well, and that really does fucking translate to a podcast too. Because to the listeners, we don't sit and plan what we're going to talk about. Yes, we spoke about like 20 minutes before we started this actual podcast to say, right, we'll maybe talk about this, and this. But we haven't even really spoke about anything we said we're going to talk about in the podcast. We've
nah.
literally
I'll
just
be honest, I can't even remember what we said we were going to speak about.
neither can I.
Yeah,
We've literally sat down, hit record, and just fucking chatted shit, and that's because that's what we're good at.
yeah.
We're both good
Just
at that
talking,
shit.
man.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
yeah,
Like,
we are overseas brothers, and we're
yeah,
just fucking
100%.
and the fact that we're going to be recording monthly now, like we'll be recording again in literally 4 weeks. We'll have
Yeah,
four,
it's
we'll,
it.
we'll have 4 weeks of sorry, I rudely interrupted you there. We have 4 weeks of fucking stuff to like talk about in the next 4 weeks. You know what I mean? It works
And
so
yeah,
well.
and that's it. Like it's good too. Like, and the cool thing about it is, and I guess this is where it's different to like a radio show or a TV show or something like that. Like they're always scripted, they're always heavily edited, watered down, this and that, very like
Mm.
concentrated like that. Like the king of the couch for me is like it's life. So it's about whatever the fuck you want it to be about, and this is kind of what we'll probably cover. But there might be more music. Like that's why I'm branching off to do a music show because I want to really talk about music, but I don't want to just chop it in there and then talk about this and then chop it that. It's like, nah,
Yeah.
I'll move it out. I'll do some dedicated shit.
Mhm.
And then now you get to that point where you're like, I reckon we could do that. Like you've talking to like different people on TikTok, you're talking to people that have like the conspiracy podcast, the comedians, and so you can talk to people, man, because you have those like interests,
Yeah.
and that's like the cool thing about it. And then yeah, I don't know, you just never know what's gonna go. You never know who's gonna relate to it too, man. When you get a cool message too, you go, yeah, all right, I'll fucking do it again next week. You get like that. Okay, fuck yeah, that's just driven me. You
I've
know.
I've had some serious love rolling at the minute, and it does blow me away every time. Like I get a lot of messages with the podcast, but every time I get a message, the feeling never changes. It's like fuck, you know what I mean? It's all the time.
Yeah, you feel, and that this takes me back to what I was going to say earlier. I know I was fucking blowing smoke on my bum about you giving me a compliment and stuff like that.
you
But
give
when
me
someone,
you give me solid compliments too, so
whatever,
it's tit for tat.
tit for tat. But when someone's genuinely giving you a compliment, like it's one of those awkward things where you're like, when you're actually flattered, you're like I'll talk all the time, much like yourself. And when someone's like, "Hey, no, seriously, like your podcast is really good. Like it made me think about this subject totally differently," and you're just totally grateful. You're like,
Yeah,
when you don't know what to say. You're just like, "Oh, thanks. Like I really appreciate you listening. Like I'm so stoked." Every time someone's bought merch, I'm like, "Oh man," I'm like, "I did not think that person would buy merch. Like I never even would have thought of that. Didn't even know they listened to the show that much." Or the people that you met through the show that you never even knew. Then they're the ones that are like buying a hoodie and a hat, and you're like, all right, cool. You must really like the show. Like, that's really cool. Like, and I'm so stoked. You're like, what else can I do for you? Like, yeah, it
yeah.
must be. It's good, man. It's a good feeling. But
And
yeah, look at us gushing.
I know, like we may as well just turn the camera off and just start fucking talking dirty to each other, you know?
Well, you were talking about gay porn. You seemed pretty interested in it. Say about 20 minutes ago. Uh,
the one thing I have a bone to pick with you, Aaron.
oh, here we go. Here we go.
So the
That could
whiskey
be that could be the name of the gay porno. I have a bone to pick with you. There you go. That's the name of that gay porno.
bone picking, bone playing. The whiskey you were drinking the other day, what do you call it?
I said Jamison, didn't I?
Hmm
Is it like something Irish? I fucked it up even. It's like Jameson, son. Have I said that? Is that racist? I'm not sure if it is anymore.
So do it phonically, slowly. Say the word. Say that whiskey name slowly.
Jameson.
Jameson.
Jameson. Didn't I say Jameson?
Jameson.
Jameson. Oh, that's just my harsh Australian accent. Jameson. Is it Jameson or Jameson?
Jameson.
Jamison, like jam. Jameson.
Jameson.
Yeah. Well, it was delicious and the bottle's gone. Thanks for bringing it up. Now I've got PTSD.
You need to drink Redbreast, 12-aged Redbreast. It's a Jameson knockoff. What? Not a knockoff. It is through Jameson, but it's a oak barrel burnt fucking 12-aged whiskey.
We probably have it here somewhere. I've never seen it. I don't really buy that much whiskey. Hey, the last time I had a bottle of whiskey was the Your Mate Proper 12. Not proper number 12.
That dickhead. Shout out Conor McGregor.
Don't mention any names because I might get him on the podcast, right? Don't ruin it for me, right? It should be a fun one.
Here, if you get that fella on the podcast, we were talking about drugs earlier on, he will definitely be on drugs.
Yeah.
So, we're on 1 hour 27. I've got 3 questions here for you from my listeners. I got.
Oh, you got to listen to the question. I didn't even think you were so prepared this time. I'm gonna do it for next time. I'm driving home from the beach this afternoon. I'm like, fuck, I didn't do the question thing. Hit me with it, man. I want to know. You've intrigued me.
In total, we got 35 questions. But
that's maybe we could do another episode where you just answer all the fucking questions because that's fucking.
We could possibly do that another day. But I picked the 3 of my sort of favorite, I would say.
Yeah.
So question number 1 comes from Stacey C.
She's keen. I can tell already. She's keen. She loves the accent. She loves the accent.
She's got real fuck me eyes, which is great. Milk then cereal or cereal then milk?
You put the cereal in and then the milk. If I have to do that, but I'm like keto, so I just eat eggs and shit. No, I'm not keto. I ate plenty of garbage. Yeah, it's got to be cereal and milk. I mean, it has to be.
Yeah, it has to be. Like, what fucking psychopath does milk then cereal?
Stacey. I mean, it's a genuine question. I'm not trying to speculate here, but I mean, it's just, I don't know. I will answer your question with another question though, Stace. If you're making yourself like a Jamison on the rocks, do you put the Jamison in before the rocks or the rocks in and then the Jamison over the top? Because I like to fucking ice it and then just fill the bitch up, much like the cereal.
Then again, because I know Stacey is quite dirty. Blurt then dildo or dildo then blurt?
Wow. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Let's just go with milk covering cereal.
Milk covering cereal all day, every day. Next question.
I never eat it.
Yeah, I don't take breakfast. Well, the breakfast I had today was buckfast.
Soggy.
So the next question becomes from our good mutual friend and co-host of the Talking or 2 Girls 1 Smit podcast, Naomi Mitchell.
Shout out.
Do you think NASA invented thunderstorms to cover up the sounds of space battles?
Space battles?
Yeah, Star Wars shit.
I will say your friend's definitely on drugs. Do I think NASA? Nah. I mean, well, we'll say they did probably, mock the moon landing.
100%.
So, yeah, look, stranger things have happened. I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, so I'm going to have to just go with the whole scientific thing here and think that the rain is real. Thunderstorms, I mean, it's been pissing down here. I always just thought it was like, God's angry. Isn't that the old thing? God's angry. He's fighting.
Let's change the narrative then. Did NASA invent thunderstorms to cover up the sound of dogfights in the air?
Dogfights, yeah. Dogfights. That's a real thing. Is it a problem in Ireland, dogfighting?
Well, not. There's no. Oh, are you actually talking about proper dogfights? I mean, like dogfights, Top Gun sort of shit.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the
Fucking-
streets, like that LA dog fighting, like couple of pit bulls, man.
Why
I
the
didn't realize
why, why the fuck?
that's what I thought was obscure. I was like, why would you invent? I mean, that seems like an incredible waste of resources and billions of dollars. I'm like, I don't even know there's dog. I can even hear dog fights. And I'm pretty sure there's some around. Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Creating a thunderstorm for a pit bull to rip the fuck out of a poodle.
Yeah. Yeah, NASA has some explaining to do. Evidently, we're all confused. I think they're real. I think thunderstorms are real. I'm gonna lock in A. Thunderstorms are real. You reckon? They definitely look. They're
Yep.
not covering any pit bull dog fights.
Fun fact: did you know NASA was actually originally made to search the ocean,
Was
and
it?
it was actually the people that were the base layer of NASA were 5 top scientists that were Nazi scientists.
Nazis.
Yeah,
Nazi and NASA is very similar. I've
it
just
is.
put two and two together. Now you said that. Yeah, wow. I don't know. I don't. It's hard to trust these multi-billion-dollar companies, isn't it? They're
Yeah,
always a bit
big
sinister.
time.
They got their fingers in some pies. Big pharma, Nazis, death camps. Not for me. Fucking thundermongers.
And last question, and I'm going to let you talk about it real quick while I go for another pee because that podcast went through me.
Yeah. You're looking fidgety. I will say,
Yeah,
and the camera's fidgety too.
yeah, it is because my legs fucking tapping here because I need to piss. What's a conspiracy theory that you actually kind of believe in, and you can talk about it, and I'll be back in 2 seconds.
What was it? Okay, I'm gonna insinuate. What's conspiracy theory?
What's a
What?
conspiracy that you actually kind of believe in?
Well, I think there's many. I mean, we've had we'll give my good co-host, the wizard Jared Subchai, a shout out because we broke a few of these down. But um, lizard people's a hard one for me to get into, although I really would like it to be true. I think 9/11. I think 9/11 was an inside job. So I think that if I'm understanding the question right, I think 9/11 was an inside job. I also think um, that, like we just said it, the NASA moon landing. I don't think it was real. I think it was just doesn't seem real to me at all. The footage. No one's really been to the moon since that I know of. Maybe some Russian cosmonauts, but like, you know what I mean. We're not seeing that in the westernized American media. Ooh, I'm partying. I'm burping. I'm partying. Jesus Christ, can't even talk. It's not even non-alcoholic. Sorry, I was just saying, Smitty's back. He's
Yes.
done his poo. It was. I reckon 9/11 was an inside job.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
So
I think. I mean, you missed it too. I said lizard people. I said I don't think they're real, but I'd like them to be real.
I
Um,
sort of low key hashtag believe in low key hashtag. What the fuck am I talking about? Low
yeah,
key sort of believe that there is reptilians in the world.
yeah.
But in terms of 9/11 being an inside job, I'm gonna send you a podcast to those conspiracy guys where he talk. It's a 6 hour podcast where he talks about Agenda 21.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Agenda 21?
Nah, I'm gonna hit my mate up, Jared. I was just mentioned Jared Subjo. We did like 3 or 4 conspiracy theory podcasts. He loves this shit, and he'd probably fucking froth on this conspiracy guy. Those conspiracy guys.
Hook me up with Jared, and me and him will talk. Um,
Yeah,
so Agenda 21 was a document released in 20. Was I might butcher the fucking date it was released, but it was like early 2000s.
yeah.
That literally was a step-by-step plan of what they're going to do for the next 30 years. So
Yeah.
COVID or like an international pandemic was predicted
Yeah.
15 years ago.
I don't think this shit is accidental. I mean,
Fuck no.
we'll
Fuck.
probably get shadow banned. It's not. It's way too catastrophic. You know what I mean? That's not a natural
Yeah.
disaster.
No.
Like, I don't know, man. The fucking health minister in Australia today was just like, if you're feeling sick, you should take paracetamol. It was like, thanks a lot, genius. Like, this is like an ongoing global pandemic, and you've just told us to take fucking Panadol.
Fucking, but here's the thing, though, right? So I work for a big pharma company. I'm well in with all my
You're on
pharma.
the inside. You're on it.
I'm on the inside. I
Yeah.
know my shit when it comes to
Part of the agenda.
for when it comes to pharmaceutical drugs, right? Did you know, fun fact, that if paracetamol now was made right now and fully invented right now, it would not get passed by the FDA because it's that toxic for your liver?
So what's the go with it? Because this is that makes me think about asbestos and smoking and all this fucking shit.
Yeah.
That what you yeah. Well, we don't want to talk about your job, but if you're in the agenda. But
Yes.
big pharma, the Western medicine. I mean, it serves its purpose. It's great and stuff like that. But there seems to be things that are like, for every pill you take, there's like a side effect. So you need to take another pill to
Yeah.
counteract that. You know what I mean? This is where I think like natural remedies are like they need to be pushed more.
Yeah,
People need to
not
go back to
yeah,
roots.
100%. So the likes of marijuana and hemp and stuff needs to be pushed more than fucking all this manufactured shit.
Yeah.
So here's some history. You're gonna get my history brain here, right? 1955, paracetamol was invented. 1956, it was released in Australia. 1967, it was released in the UK, right?
Yeah.
It's been 50, 60 years since that drug's been released. The amount of fucking chemical testing now and fucking purity testing is through the roof. If we
Yeah.
tested paracetamol right now and links to cancer and fucking liver failure and toxicity of the body, paracetamol is the number one killer. And it would not, right now, it would not get passed by the FDA at all. You'd be told never to take it.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy. And I'm not surprised. I'm genuinely not surprised. Is this why you said on your podcast you don't take fucking drugs?
Yeah.
Like, and you don't take. You said I rarely take tablets, which I thought, man, if I got a fucking headache, you know what I mean? I'll pop a couple of Panadol Rapids.
Well, here's a wee bit of a fucking personal with it, which I never actually spoke about on the podcast. I don't take tablets because I had an intentional overdose like 8 years ago, so I just don't personally take
Did you
them.
say an intentional overdose?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's the plot thickens again. Wow.
Yeah.
You're a fucking you're like a Pandora's box here, man.
You know, yeah, I haven't actually spoke about it yet. There I am doing like a mental health podcast with somebody soon, where it's going to open up a lot more about it. But yeah, I don't take them. I haven't taken any sort of tablets in about 8 years. Only if I'm fucking really, really, really struggling.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'll be interested to hear that one. That sounds like a fucking. There's a bit of history there. That sounds interesting, eh? Yeah, dude. Big Pharma, all that shit. Man, there's so many. The thing about conspiracy theories is that like some of them are so outlandish that you go, yeah, that could be fake. But for the vast majority of them, it's just labeled like a conspiracy theory. It's like, oh, COVID. You know, people go, oh, you don't believe in what the media says, you're a conspiracy theorist. So people just like quick to label shit because you don't agree with the mainstream narrative.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, if you don't take a vaccine, you're anti. Before you're boxed in, and that's kind of thing. So I think like 90% of like conspiracy theories, quote unquote, are probably fucking true because where there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Well, that's very true. But do you know who actually implemented the word and the use of the word conspiracy theory?
I feel like Jared covered this once. Is this CIA, FBI, one of those ones? Yeah. CIA?
CIA, because I can't remember what it was linked to, but there was something happened in the States, and basically when the people pretty much worked it out and brought their like point and their word forward, the FBI was like, it's just a conspiracy, you know. And that was it. That was the brush off a yes or no answer. This is true. This is false. Just to be like, it might be. And then you've got tinfoil hatter linked to conspiracy so much that you don't want to fucking believe them. And then here we go. We're an hour and 40, right? We're an hour and 40 minutes. We'll wrap this up soon. Or we'll go for 2 hours, will we?
All right, I've got a bad feeling. I fucking got the mic on here, but I don't think I actually clicked my mic. I think I'm just looking at it here. So hopefully the audio is good because this could be bad.
I've everything recording perfectly, so I've got you covered. What was I saying? Fuck.
I don't know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say something fucked up.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, tinfoil hatters and conspiracies, right? Do you know why they're saying that this whole vaccine and shit? I'm triple vaxxed. You know, I got all my jobs. That's fine. And everyone's sitting saying, oh, they're gonna kill off all these millions and billions of people because that's their narrative and that's what the government want to do, right?
Yeah.
Do you seriously think that if they're gonna fucking kill the world and kill the universe and take 6 billion people out of the fucking world, they want to keep 1 billion fucking mental as fuck conspiracy theorists, tinfoil hat nut jobs in the world instead of fucking 6 billion normal people.
Yeah. I don't know about the narrative of like killing everybody.
Yeah.
There might be like something more to do with like control and shit like that. I
Yeah.
mean, some of the shit that's going in this country now, like, it's bizarre. Like, you're just like, what? And they keep changing the goalposts and shit. COVID, it's a whole other fucking podcast there, but man, fuck. Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
We'll go even deeper. Mate, very good to speak to you. Hey, I mean, it's been a whole month probably since we did our last one. And the people now know this is going to go on and on and on for all this year. And
100%. 100%. Yeah, we'll wrap this up and we'll probably talk for another 10 minutes after this here when we'll stop recording. But I have been Smitty. That has been King of the Couch. As always, Aaron, win the morning, win the day. I love you.
Hey, you're a motivational speaker, like we always say. Have a great week. Have a great week, and we love you all.
We love you all. Good luck. Peace.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
No matter who you are or what you're going